everyone. So I thought it would be fun to do a process video of my last 52 favorites. This is actually, I think, considered week 53, or I haven't done a process video yet of Ali Edwards, and I figured I might as well, because I had done this layout all digital, and then it's still digital, it's hybrid actually, but somehow my computer didn't save it. So I'm a little nervous to see how this is gonna come together, because I kind of just, I had the print sheet ready, but I can't look at my computer basically to see what it looks like. So I'm kind of doing it on the fly. We'll see how this works out. So let's get started. What I have is this. This is what I have. And once again, I mentioned this before, I measured out the chipboard, and it's about 1 inch, so I can put it right there. And then I mixed a bunch of Ali Edwards kits. This is Bring On the Love, and I actually had to recolor this entire thing. You can see some of the red there, but I don't think that you'll see that once I put this down. And then this I made into a black strip, but it's actually chipboard. It's just one piece of chipboard right there, and then I added it there, and then just kept repeating it. And then I also have Loved This. I think this said Loved This Adventure, and I cut off the adventure, and then there was like a little hole right there, so you could like see through it. So I had to add a little black square to completely cover that. And then this one, and then I think I'm gonna finally use this actual like real embellishment. It's like almost like a badge type of material. So I'm gonna use that, and then like you saw, this paper is printed from my computer, and then this is a journaling card. Once again, using journaling cards as paper, I just duplicated it all the way down. So, oh, and the other thing I wanted to show you, because I've had somebody ask me, is this is cardstock. So I like my traveler's notebooks to be thick. So you'll see this is my son's drawing. He didn't need it anymore, so I just recycle it. So it's cardstock, and then once I get my matte paper printed out, I will add it over. So now let's get started. So now I'm just going to put the pieces together. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna lay the matte paper over the cardstock. That way it's backed and sturdier, I guess. And then I'm laying down this, always fussing with that alignment. I like to make sure it's perfect. And then I repunch the holes, which is something I'm always doing. I have to repunch the holes at least 4 times, I think, while I do traveler's notebooks. But that's okay. I like traveler's notebooks with holes because it just allows me to add whatever I want and make it as thick as I want. And now this Bring On the Love that I recolored, the red, you can still see some of the red, but it will be covered up by the time I get done, because it will have some embellishments over it, so you won't see the red. And I was just making sure that the photo will be a little bit above that strip. That way you can see the strip. And I added these 2 strips, the Bring On the Love and the black stripes. So that way there was some continuity between the 2 pages, because the colors coordinate, but I also wanted to have 2 strips of paper to tie them together as well. So now I am just gonna lay down the chipboard and start placing the different embellishments. Putting down the photo. I love that photo. We took it on our most recent family vacation to the ocean. It was how we did a 2018 send-off. And let's see, placing those half circles and the different word strips. I used a bunch of different story kits to be able to pull this together. And then I figured out that that badge was adhesive, so I didn't need my red line tape. So I'm just gonna lay that down. It always feels good when you use up supplies that you've had for a while. Laying down that strip that says Better Together. And then I'm gonna pop dot the 2 half circles. And as you can see, this blue circle covers up some of the red. So now you can't really see it. laying down that word strip, and then trying to figure out where that 4 is going to go. I lost my little squares of foam, so now I'm using the big ones, and I just cut them apart. Works the same. And then a strip that says good times. And then 4 little hearts because we're 4. And then I put the 4 circle. I don't remember what kit I got that from, but I liked how that was 4 because there's 4 of us. Okay, I'm back because I got my transparency printed. I found this computer graphics 8.5 by 11 6-sheet on Amazon. I will leave a link. It's clear film for inkjet, and I used a whole sheet of transparency. So I printed this, and then since I didn't want to leave, a leftover half of the transparency, I just printed some L Studio brushes, and I'll use that at some point. But I really love how this turned out. I used 3 different kits for these digital stamps, and then I just added them on and then printed it out. And I will say that on this Grafix, it says to print on the coarser side, which I did. You can kind of feel the texture is a little coarser, and then it said to let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes, which I did, and then now I can add it into my album. I punched the holes. When I punched the holes, I put this behind this, so that way it was just a little bit easier to punch through, but it's still snagged. So, but I love the price. I don't remember the price off the top of my head. I just know it wasn't that expensive. So it was a good way to start on transparency. Also, when printing this, I print through Photoshop Elements, and then I go through my Easy Canon Print free download that I use to print this, and I put it as, I think, glossy paper, or like photo luster. I made sure that it was luster type of printing, and then it printed, and then now I have a awesome transparency to end my 52 favorites. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, I would love a subscribe. Thank you.